What's the name? Can I promote
No.
it? Like Cupian?
No.
Oh. What if Matt gets really angry and flies to England and smashes their teeth in a like, hammer pan? Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Hey,
We're
stop
live.
it! Oh, hello. How are we, boys? Hello, everyone. How are we? Sorry, I just needed my my false teeth being put back in. Oh, oh, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff.
I shall open the stream to check.
It's not the only thing you'll open. Your legs.
Right, evening everyone, welcome back to FTRL. We're here for round 5 in Division 1 of Season 8 at the Austrian Grand Prix. I'm joined tonight by the ever charismatic Preheated Oven and FTRL Panini. Evening lads.
Good evening.
Hello. That was quite a weird hello. But,
That was indeed. That was indeed. I mean, it's like you were half committed to Captain Jack Sparrow, half committed to Pamela Anderson. And it's just that's a bit of it, what you get in between. Oh, I think someone's already rushed out onto their outlap.
Yep,
It's good to be back.
Remco's on his way.
It's good to be back, isn't it? It feels like it's been a while. It's actually only been a week, obviously. That's if you don't know that, you know, it's every Monday, 8 PM. Yeah, it feels like it's been a
I
lot
know what you
longer
mean,
than
it's
that.
felt like a long week.
It has, yeah. That might be because of my 4-day bender, but just still recovering from. But no, I'm actually excited to be back. It's looking good for today. I mean, the last race is to go out by anything, you know. I think it'd be good, be interesting. Austria's a fast circuit, so yeah, be interesting this one.
Adrian Panda's tuned in already.
He's just committed, isn't he? He's the type of guy that, like, he's on a yellow and he's just going to go straight two-footed in because he wants the ball. He'll then get sent off, but the fans will love him. I think that's what he brings. He brings lots of passion. Lots of passion. He showed great character as Remco comes onto the main straight here to start his lap. First lap of round 5 now. Remco's had a decent start to the season. He's I'd say he's been slightly a bit of a dark horse, but obviously being Dutch, he just gets that automatic 3/10 pace boost. He's finished 7th, 4th, 7th, and 5th last time out in France. He somehow manages to find his way back onto the podium interviews though, because Zach is actually a mute. So that's why he always finds himself in the interview. But he's picked up a fair amount of points. He's picked up 34 championship points. But closely behind him is Tico with 32, and then Tim 12 with 28. However, there's a massive gap if you look on the table between 4th place Remco and 3rd place Plexits. I mean, Plexits is on 62 points and Remco's on 34. I mean, that top 3 are just absolutely running away with it. With Dutch first with 72, Zach second with 63, and Plexits third with 62. As our 4th place man sets a 1 minute 4.9. Oh, Bran the man has set a provisional pole with a 104.5. Bran again has had an average start. He's every time he has finished a race, he has finished in the points. He's had 1 DNF, 2 10th place finishes, and a 9th place finish. Does leave him just above the relegation zone. That does in at 16th place. However, he's quite a consistent driver, wouldn't you say, lads? He's one of the more consistent drivers.
Yeah, he's yeah, he's pretty. I was wondering who's going to take that one over because yeah, James hasn't shut up yet. No, he is consistent. I think he's been a bit unlucky in a couple of races so far. I think he could have had a couple of better results had things gone his way.
Yeah.
But you speak of consistency, and you need to go and have a look at the championship leader at the moment.
I mean,
Dutch Tricks. I mean,
I mean, it's not gone too badly for him, with 2 first place finishes in Spain and Bahrain, 3rd place in Monaco and a 2nd respectively in France.
I mean, it's like the guy.
Joe Burns. And he is completely sideways through the last corner, through the first corner. He's working these tyres quite hard.
I mean, I don't want to scare him or jinx him, but I mean, you're looking at Aaron there in 14th place, only 5 points scored. I mean, all it takes is Cat to come, 7th above, 8th above, 6th above, and Aaron could drop down into the relegation zone there if Ravers and Brand pick up more points than him. So he's got to be careful, as Mr. One Lap Pace himself has gone pole with a 104.9 on the Super Softs, I believe.
Ultras as well.
Oh, it is Ultras. Oh, wow.
He's going for them 2 points again.
Yeah, well, is the 1-stop possible with the Ultra Soft boys? I'm not too sure on this.
Having not done any practice, I don't know.
We're not very good at this commentating things, are we? I think it is if you stretch out the softs, but I do believe a lot of them will be doing 2 stops, or trying the 1-stop rather today. As it is for half of the calendar, really. It's just 1-stops, isn't it?
You've got Aaron sitting in 8th. He's only just behind Panda, and I happen to know that Aaron hates this track with a passion, as you can probably tell if you look at his Twitter.
Yeah, he's been practicing hard for this. He's been doing many laps of Austria, but not in F1.
He spent a
lot of time in Gran Turismo, yeah.
Ultras to soft is a very possible one. Is a very 1-stop actually, as Matt Cause put it, a very 1-stop. I love this track. It's very much a 1-stop track, a very 1-stop. He's just corrected himself there. In the chat though is obviously the ever-going Hammer Time and Matt Cause with the most handbag teammate partnership in the world. Ravers as well. Should probably get back to work, but no, it's fine. And Pando and Geron. Hey guys, here is the founder of Chicken Dude. Yes, he hasn't changed it on PSN, but Chicken Dude has changed his name on Discord for Chicken Dude, and he's embracing it. He's loving it. So it's always positive to take. So it's always great to see him doing there. Obviously, he had a better race out time in France, him and his teammate. I think he came 6th, Chicken Dude. So he's picked up. He picked it up from the start of the season. Obviously, he didn't start too well, but he picked up points in his first 2 races. So I think he's got what it takes to stay up if he can just maintain this this consistency that he's got. And obviously, last year himself was nicknamed before Chicken Dude Mr. Consistent. Always scored points.
So, you noticed that Mr. 1 Lap Pace Tim 12 had gone pole?
Yes.
Did you happen to notice that he set the exact time branded?
Oh my, he did. Identical. Well. If only the glitch of them starting in the same position was still there. That would be making for interesting racing.
Or the glitch that happened to our other core commentator.
Yes, I once set the same lap time as somebody else and ended up with, I think it was 97% rear tyre wearing a puncture as I set off the line on the formation lap. Yeah, lovely.
Always what you want to see. Did you also notice that Praga is a 10th behind them both? Now, Praga is actually in a few fantasy teams of some of the boys in this division and the Div2 lads. A dark horse, would you say?
When he turns
From
up.
an outsider? When he turns up, of course. His pace looked very decent in France. Tim 12 loses the back end into the hairpin. The right angle. Oh. Now these Toro Rosso boys have really stepped it up a bit with the qualifying, but I've said this every race, and Tim 12 is just he's probably up there with Dutch and Tico for fastest driver. But consistency, he's probably got the consistency of one Rich T Gaming, and that's not something you really want. Hi Dan, big shout out to you, mate. Dreadful teammate. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this race, and Team 12 has come into the bits actually. So yeah.
Just to make everyone aware out there that Tico and Zach do have qualification bans, so they will be starting from the back today, as an incident happened in the last race in qualifying.
Yes. So as everyone all knows, France is a very wide track. And cutting the corners to get back to the pit stop so you can make another lap is just not allowed, and we did state this before, previously coming into the race. We did warn the boys, and unfortunately just they weren't taken seriously enough. But hey ho, that's life. If you don't listen to the rules, you will get punished. Interestingly enough though, I was about to say, is Dutch set his time on the soft tyre and he's 5th. Now I don't think you want to start on the softs, because I feel like it being a hard compounded tyre and on such a short track, I think you'd rather 2 fastest tyres maybe. You know, ultra soft to soft, start on the ultras, or would you risk the harder compounder with super softs all around you?
With my pace, I'd just like to have 4 wheels on the car by the end of the race.
Yeah, and no penalties preferably.
Yeah, but he's currently sitting in the garage with a set of super soft tyres ready to go.
He is.
As his Plexits.
Now, do you think Plexits will improve on that 104.0? I mean, I do believe that him and Tim 12 have both set 103s, excuse me, in time trial. But as we all know, that time trial pace isn't really the same as your race pace. It does make you faster, as Remco goes second with a 104.0 as well on the ultra soft. So yeah, not too sure. What's your opinion on the time trial pace? What do you boys think? Is it beneficial for you to get the fastest time trial pace, or do you think just consistency with your lap times makes you the best driver?
Well, I've tended not to do so much time trial on this game. I tend to... Right. I mean, I'll do a time trial, I'll find a setup that's quick and stable, and then go into like practice lobbies or Grand Prix mode and try and see if it works or not, and make any adjustments as needed. It seemed to work for me so far this season. Yeah.
Except for Monaco.
Except for Monaco. We won't talk about that. We'll gloss over that.
No.
I just tend to turn up again. There you go. If in doubt, just turn up, it'll be fine.
Just turn up, exactly. I mean, bless Agent Panda, I know it's a Div1 race that we're watching, but he let everyone out the way so perfectly. And it would have been perfect for him to have got a point in that race, but didn't. So a big shout out to Agent Panda. I know he's still watching. We do love you, Agent.
Tim 12, first man into the 103s.
I said, didn't I?
He has done that on the ultra soft.
His teammate is on the super softs, coming round the last sector now into the double right-hander. Really awkward corner, that.
Chicken guys put up a 6th in the supers.
Plexit stays the same. See, that time from Chicken Guy is very, very fast for a super soft time. But then when you look at Dutch on a 104.8 who set that on the soft compound tyres, it then scares you.
Where Plexit just did 104.3 on the supers. So he
just wheel spun to hell out of the tight right-hander. I would call it a hairpin, but it's sort of a 90-degree corner. not like a paperclip. But what I will say is for Dutch at this point, I know he's going for the title, but constructors as well. You'd probably want to put in a fast time because McLaren are leading the way, but these Toro Rosso boys at 1-2, that could be dangerous as Tico's actually pulling Dutch along, but Tico's not allowed to set a lap, so I'm a bit confused about this. Are you seeing this, boys? Are you on board with Dutch?
He's they're trying the slipstream, I think.
Is that
as Dutch goes by? Well, he's allowed to do an outlap, he just can't set a time.
Then fair enough. Don't it remain straight. We'll see Dutch's time now. It'd be rather ironic if it doesn't work now. All that hassle. Is there a reason that Lennon has not set a time? Or he didn't get a qualifying ban, did he?
There is a reason why Lennon's at time. He's a lazy bastard.
To put it bluntly.
Dutch goes P4, 104.1.
Like to leave it late in qualifying sections to come up.
Oh, okay. Co-Andy has retired from the session. Not sure if that was a crashing incident or him pulling out and just trying to work his way through the field. He seems to have lost his qualifying pace. Andy, obviously, last time was very much always in the points. This season, his qualifying seems to let him down a bit. Started at the back, I think in Bahrain, I think it was, or France he did definitely. Still does manage to pick up the points, to be fair to him. He's got an 8th and a 9th. He was away, yeah, it was Bahrain who started further down the group. But Chicken Guy's actually set a 104.7, which is the same time as Aaron on those super soft tyres, so...
Remco's across the line, goes P2.
Another 103. Splits the Toro Rosso drivers, and that's probably the best thing for it.
And I think Tim 12's about to start another lap to try and improve his time.
Yeah,
I'm also on board with Cress as well.
An out lap on the set of ultra softs.
Praga's currently on a hot lap.
Cat's on a hot lap on the ultra soft tyres, currently on a 104.8 in 11th place. It's considerably 6/10 slower than the nearest super soft runner. Sorry, ultra soft runner rather. If I could get my words out. But yeah, constructors, boys. So I'll nip onto this quickly. I know it's sort of shied upon, and most of the drivers want to go for the title itself. But the top 4 are McLaren, Toro Rosso, Williams, and Force India, respectively. Do you think McLaren will run away with it? What's your opinion on this?
Well, McLaren was my pick at the start of the season, and I'm not changing my mind on that. However, I do think that it's going to be closer than we. Yeah, I think the constructors' battle is going to be closer than what we probably think. I think the Toro Rosso boys are going to push them quite close.
Yeah, agreed. I think, as well as that, I think Renault and Williams, the Renault of Panda and Aaron, and the Williams of Praga and Zach, both all fast drivers in those two teams. As Brexit sits at 103.8. Now, Remco hasn't got enough time to answer.
And Brand matches Dutch's time exactly.
Dutch on the super soft tyre though, however. Now that could be crucial. Let's see.
In 12 is someone going to be happy. I checked his lap time and he did a 103.7, but it was invalidated, and I think it was at the last corner.
He hit the slab, did he?
He ran wide, come up the last corner, over the exit curve.
Oh. Do you want to do the top 10, boys?
No, you can knock yourself out.
So our pole sitter today is Plexits, followed by his teammates Tim 12, an excellent qualifying session from the Red Bull Toro Rosso lads. Third place is Remco in the Force India. Fourth with an excellent qualifying. I think his best of the season is Brand in third. Dutch setting the fastest time of the Super Soft runners in fifth, followed by Praga in sixth, Cat in seven, Ox in eighth, and that is Chicken Guy in 9, and Aaron rounding up the top 10. Lennon setting his lap quite late, ended up in 11th place. Now, don't think that strategy really worked for him. I think the laziness got the better of him. Potentially.
Well, track conditions look glorious.
You know when you think about something and you realise how much of a spanner you are?
And what is that, Pagani?
I just went back and checked the predictor league and realised that I'd put Tico down for pole when he has a qualifying ban.
That would make you a massive spanner.
You know when you get, it's not even a spanner, you know when you get those massive spanners that are like huge and they're normally inflatable, so they're useless. That is you.
Wait,
Useless giant inflatable spanner is what you
It
are.
looks fairly bright at the moment. Oh, Tim 12 barely moving the line. Or was it Plexus? I don't know. It was one of them.
No, it was Plexits. It was Plexits who does what I do for every qualifying and just really gets to give it a go. Now, interestingly enough, is Zach is at the back of the pack. He could really hinder these top two, first, second two, top two, as he's at the back of the grid. Obviously, him starting just behind Tico, who's in 17th place. It's a thick field there for him to work their way through. What do you reckon? Points? Just outside the points? What do you boys reckon?
Just looking at the tyre, so they're starting on the soft tyre, so they're going to go deep into the race and hope to be on the quick rubber at the end. Yeah, I would say points is a possibility. I mean, Tico's in past races.
Boys, Tico's
Tico is
foot
spun.
hit the wall on the formation lap.
Can you take damage in the formation lap? I'm not sure you can.
I think he's got away with that one.
Lap leader has been disqualified.
As is
His tyres will
Burns
be nice and warm on the grid.
as will Joe and Jills.
Yeah, well, Tico
I
in
think
past
Tico-
races, as we were saying, has started at the back before and got almost on the podium. In fact, I think one race he did get on the podium from the back of the grid, so...
That tells it all, doesn't it? Well, I mean, for me personally, I think Tico there just went for a spin like I did at Monza just to check out the really nice people in the stands and send some autographs. So we'll let him off for that. We won't bring that up if he finishes in the podium next time. So
Well,
here they
we'll
are.
watch our boys at the back, see how they get on.
I'll watch the boys in the middle.
And I'll watch the boys at the front. We've got 5 lights. And we're going
And away
Austria.
they go.
Oh, Zach
Great
had a flyer of a
start.
start.
Fantastic start from Aaron as well. Yeah.
Remco's had a good start up the outside of Tim.
Dutch
Tim's held the
loses
place.
back end.
Zach's made 2 places already.
Katamiz is up the inside for P2.
Contact with Aaron's front right and Praga's rear left. I don't think there's any damage. I'll double check that for you.
Zach's made 4 places.
And Katamiz
There
finds
is no
himself in P2.
Excellent start from Cat. I didn't see that at all.
Yeah. And Tim now having to fend off Remco.
Dutch is staying onto the back of these ultra soft runners, and that's all he needs to do. Keep the
Exactly,
RS down, keep the
on
fuel down, save the tyres.
Places. Chicken guy's in the pits. He must have got damage.
I think he got damage coming into the first corner. I don't think there was any contact anywhere else. Press is dropped down. I don't know where he's dropped down from actually. Have a look at that now.
Oh, ran up the inside of Remco. There's a bit of contact, and there's a Sauber off in the background. That's Ox. Oh,
unfortunate for Ox.
Brands missed his brakes. He's taken Tim off with him.
That has allowed Zach, who's already up to 8th, in 2 laps.
He is flying.
And right on the back of Lennon, who's on the back of Tim 12. And unnoticedly, Kat and Aaron both jumping up 5 positions.
I'd say Aaron's found himself in P5.
Mister, I don't like this track, I'm going to make an excuse. Praga has left the session, I believe he'll be back soon. Unless he retired, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's retired from the session.
Got a virtual safety car.
Ooh. Do you pit if you're coming up to the pits? No, none of them have. This really isn't what Chicken Guy would have wanted. Chicken Guy probably would have preferred an actual safety car.
Right, well, Catalyst doesn't usually find himself this high up, so I wonder if he's just going to go for it when the safety car comes in. My virtual safety car comes in.
Potentially. So, it's a good start from Lennon as well, I must say. He's at 4 positions, starting in 11, just behind Aaron. Obviously, is near his rival there, and is separated only by Tim 12, who Aaron did actually manage to overtake out of all of that. Lennon does try and jump Tim 12.
Right, we're green flag again.
There.
Yep.
Lennon did try and look up the inside of Tim 12, who was slow off the line there. Aaron's now chasing down the orange car of Dutch Tricks in 4th position, who's on the back of Remco in that Force India Tico with a 3-second time penalty for
Super Jules and Co-Andy was side by side through the second to last corner.
I think Jules is going to go for it.
Yep, we'll get this done. Oh,
there is a spin.
Aaron's gone round.
There is contact with Lennon, I believe.
Yep, Lennon's stopped and waited.
Oh dear. Brand the man. 5-second stop go. I believe there was another stop go there. I will double check that for you. Yes, so there was 2 stop goes. One for Zach, who was corner cut and gained 1 place, and there is a stop go for Brand.
I reckon that will be from the yellow flag caused by Aaron's spin.
Indeed. Slightly unfair. But rules of rules, when there is a yellow flag you cannot overtake. Disappointing from Aaron's perspective. I'm not sure what quite happened, but to be facing the wrong way in the track, it's never normally a great sign after a fantastic start to the race.
Co-Andy's looking a bit racy behind Ox.
Ox has managed to claw back a few positions after being 17th after spinning. I mean, I'm looking here, I mean, Zach's in 6th, gaining up 12 positions, and Tico's already in the points, gaining up 8 after 5. Closing down the back of Panda. Pagani's told your mum to stop barking.
I don't want to say this very often, but Catalyst is closing on the back of Lexus.
Oh my. It's very posh. My apologies. That isn't something you normally see. I was slating Cat slightly in the previous couple of races, as last race was his first finish this season. He seems to be in 2nd position at the moment, so it's slightly difficult for Cat starts the season, but he's improved. Yeah, Lennon did end up retiring after that collision with Aaron. The 2 retirements so far were Praga and Lennon. Praga with the commentator's curse after saying a lot of fantasy drivers are using Praga.
There's a 3-car battle going on here between Aaron, Gilles and Cress. Well, Cress has got away from it.
I just jumped on board with Aaron as that, and he nearly hit the back of Gilles if he didn't come off the brakes. He looks into the inside of the tight right-hander and went to sector 2. Oh, he squeezes Gilles perfectly.
Good move by the lead going up.
After starting in 10th, after being in 5th, he's now 5 places back when he started rather than 5 places up.
Joe Burns is coming under pressure now from Cress.
I must say that Tim 12 is maintaining. Sorry, Tim 12. Zach is maintaining a slight gap on Remco. He's not really pushing too hard, but I don't think he really needs to. As Remco actually, as I say that, as Rem wide, got to stop talking about people and stop the commentary. Zach actually gains 0.7 of a second there in that last corner. Remco's tyres may be overheating, maybe slightly shot now.
Right, Cress is going to have a look at Joe Burns into turn 1.
Dutch has actually got the least amount of DRS.
And Joe's held on to that, good defending. But Aaron's in
late.
this.
Well, I've just seen Andy brake very, very late, and he's cut straight in front of Zach and knocked him off the circuit. And that has allowed Panda to get past Andy there. And it's put the gap back to 1.45 seconds, now 6 from Zach and Remco. He'll be upset about that.
I think you're talking about Bran there.
Yeah, I am indeed talking about Bran, not Andy. My apologies.
Aaron and Joe Burns are side by side. Aaron's got round the outside at turn number 5.
But both drivers having not the best of times on this track, that they've both admitted lately that they're not enjoying.
Right,
GT spot.
Tico looking to continue his progress through the field as he's now on the back of Bran.
After that mistake, Bran seems to have just sort of lost it. It's good racing here from Tico and Zach. So does Panda, who is also going unnoticed. Who's not drawing away from Zach, he's sticking on the back of him. It's good driving from Panda here. Tico nearly losing the back end.
Yeah, Tico's got Bran.
I mean, considering Zach started last, he's the highest runner on the soft tyres.
The Dutch did actually get past Cat. I didn't really see where that happened, but he's got 1.7 seconds now to close in on Plexits, but he's on a well, start on a slipper tyre, but those tyres will be coming towards the end of their life soon. We're on the same pace now. That is indeed the second penalty.
Yeah, they need to keep an eye on those penalties because they're going to make a head of a difference come the end of this.
They will indeed, especially starting so far back, but you've got to remember that Zach also has a 5-second stop go for disobeying yellow flags.
Joe picks up a penalty.
Jill spills, I think, with their second penalty of the race as well.
Dutch has got past Catamies somewhere, he's into P2.
I'm corrected, it's Jules Pill's first penalty, but this is the only track.
Oh no, not again. Panda's
Virgin
internet.
Media have struck again. They're not happy with him. Every time he goes high up the grid, they're like, no mate, we'll switch it off now, don't worry. Shame for Aaron that this doesn't happen in performance.
Well, there's an ironic thing with this because Aaron and Panda both have the same internet provider. Yet Aaron's getting 150 megabyte download.
Incredible.
Oh!
Maybe everything's backwards in Hull.
Zach has just slammed into the back of Remco into turn 1.
Any damage by the looks of it? Zach has left.
Okay, that might answer what happened. Because he didn't get any damage, so he's... yeah.
That has actually allowed Tico to go past.
Yep.
Zach is back.
Tim 12's got past Catamies.
Zach is back, but he'll be back now to the horrible sight of Brand's rear end. As of I probably should have rephrased that.
No, I think you meant to say that.
Zach has come back to Brand's arse, so that's great.
Yes, he's staring at Brand's arse.
I like what you did there.
Sorry boys, my controller disconnected there. Didn't want me to say Brand's arsehole. My apologies. PG. Zach is up into 7th after the 2 pit stops. Even more work for him to do now. But apparently he has 1 lap less tyres than Tico, which is confusing. As he lets Ox through. Again, another confusing one there. Oh, Zach has apparently been lapped now. I must have missed that where everyone got past him.
Well, Tico and Remco doing battle, and Tico's victorious for now. That's him up into P4.
What have I missed that Zach dropped down into 16th? I know he disconnected, but I only thought he dropped down a few positions.
Well, he's actually behind Ox.
But he did let Ox through, which was the surprising part of it. I think this has just incredibly...
Tim 12 in the pits.
That has pushed Tico up into 3rd position and 8.8 seconds to the leader of Plexits.
And Dutch is starting to reel Plexits in. I think Plexits' tyres are starting to go off.
I believe you're correct there. Let's ask the chat live stream, who do you think will come in the top 3? What do you think of the race so far? And we'll ask you again towards the end, your driver of the day. Why not? Bring that back.
Well, we've got Panda's car still going around as a ghost. So he's not been able to get back in yet. Catamies and Tim 12 are banging wheels behind him. Cat's looking very racy this evening. He means business.
He must enjoy this circuit. I mean, he's to be where he is at the moment is incredible. But I mean, look at have you got the tyre detail, let's say, enabled rather? As Tico picks up his 9th second.
Yep, I'm looking at it now.
Well, look at Tim 12 and Cat. Tim 12, I believe, pitted on the same lap as Cat.
No, Cat came in the lap before.
Oh, did Cap do that? Oh, okay. Cap did an undercut. My apologies again. Messing up very much.
Aaron's in pit lane.
Now, Aaron was on the... Oh, he's on the soft tyre and has come back out on the soft tyre.
Well, he was on the super soft tyre to start with.
Was it?
Yeah, he started P10.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Well, this is one stop then, isn't it?
Oh, Dutch with 3 second penalty.
Plexits is in the pit lane.
Rare penalty from Dutch there. Normally quite a consistent clean driver. And that is Tico up into 2nd position now. And not only is that Tico up into 2nd, but... Excuse me. He's gained 2 seconds in that last 2 laps. So, not bad race pace either, I'd say. But unnoticeably, sorry, is Bran in 3rd. 13 laps on an ultra soft set of tyres. Ox is within a second now, but he's taken those tyres a fair distance now, trying a very large overcut on the rest of the ultra soft runners. Obviously, his near rivals being Cat, Remco, Plexits.
Tim 12 diving up the inside of Catamies, and he's got the move done. And then gets himself a time penalty. It's all over that curb.
Probably run Tokyo Drift style, try and pick up some mad points for getting as close as you can to the wall. Like those GTA races, we have to get really close to the bridge and the plane. Maybe? No? I don't know.
From the man finally on the roof
Well, he's got a time penalty to serve.
Should come out just ahead of Panda's Ghost. Yeah, Panda's Ghost has overtaken him.
We'll get out in front of Aaron though.
We will indeed, and on a faster set of tyres. 1.8 seconds ahead. It's all still to play for. Well, yeah, Coandi is in 4th position at the moment. I'd say he's doing quite well. I'm looking at these lap times.
Zach is 16th, but his car's in 4th.
Yeah, it's telling me he's in 16th.
Yeah, it's telling me as well. Now, the thing is, I was on board with Zach, and this is where my controller disconnected, but with Zach, his car ghosted, and he went past, but it said his tyres were a lap younger than all the ones around him, but that didn't make sense because he'd only been overtaken by Tico and Ox.
Yeah, well it would seem as though that when he's lagged out and rejoined, he's totally desynced.
And put a lap behind. Oh, that's such an unfortunate turn of events for him. He was running fantastically as well, and
I mean, on his screen he may well be P4.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Or P2 even, yeah. But yeah, I think the game's just totally desynced him from what we're seeing.
Unless he has just tried to unlap himself now.
Off top into pits.
Very awkward pit lane, this, isn't it? Because the pit lane entry actually starts on the racing line.
Yeah, it starts in the penultimate corner, so it's quite a, like you say, an awkward one to get into.
A tricky one to navigate, should we say.
And the trouble is, you want to carry as much speed through the corner as you can going into the pit lane, but at the same time you need to keep to the right so that any cars sticking to the racing line don't get wiped out.
With you cutting them off.
Yeah.
This is a big shout for Matt Coors here, mate. This is a dangerous pit lane. Be careful. Just a word of warning, Matt. Know what you and your pit lanes are like. Awful. So be careful. Thank you. Just a brother to brother.
Chicken guys, start taking your burn.
Interestingly enough, though, is that this lapped Zach is actually allowing Coandi to get slipstream and maintain a marginal gap, but a decent gap in itself to Plexits.
Well, speaking of slipstream, Tim 12 is getting a handsome amount of it off of Dutch.
Now, this is important for Tim 12 to stick with Dutch. He did lose a bit of time to him during the first stint, and that pit stop seemed to have just got him back. Obviously he's on 4 lap older tyres, but fingers crossed that doesn't really make a difference towards the end.
Right, so Coandi just caught Zach, and Zach let him through. I wonder if Zach's getting blue flags.
I reckon he will be. I'm seeing blue flags at the side of the circuit. The marshals are waving blue flags at him.
And that's not a blue flag to represent his nationality of French. It's actually a blue flag to allow the faster cars and the leading cars to pass through.
And it's not me waving at him either.
No, it's not. It's not blue flag waving a blue flag at the blue man who lives in a blue house.
In other words, Zach's been shafted in this race.
Yeah.
He has been Eiffel 65. His race is very much blue. As Cat gets a warning. A warning? A penalty. 3-second penalty. One of the finest penalties in life.
I've got a
Aaron
decent
also.
battle brewing at the front here between Plexit's, Dutch and Tim.
Now, I've just got to say that Coandy has driven his car fantastically from where he started, I believe, in 16th place. That's an incredible drive to get his tyres that far up, and only 8 seconds behind Tico. He's one of the fastest drivers in the league. Coandy, one of the most consistent.
Yeah, well, that consistency's doing him well today.
It is indeed, and it's what happened last season. It's why he scored so many points, because he's consistently, he might not finish 1, 2 or 3, but he'll finish 5, 6 respectively. Every week he'll score a point, much like Chicken Guy in Division 2. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes out in the pack. Obviously he was in that battle with Aaron and Joe and Chicken Guy, but after the spin and the time penalty,
Plexit's going for it on Coandy. But that's
got a
allowed
bad
Dutch
run
to
out
come
of
at
that.
him. Yep. Dutch is going to get both of them, I think.
3 wide.
That is a McLaren 1-2. Plexit looks down the inside.
Oh,
There's
says
contact
Plexit's going to
slightly.
send it. Meanwhile, you've got Coandy and Tim side by side, both with DRS.
Coandy isn't really defending this one. As I say that, he defends this one. He defends only for the racing lines.
Tim's gone for it.
Blocks up. I think he'll have the better traction on those younger tyres. And
Coandy's
doesn't
still
yield
in
the
there.
position.
He's still there.
Good lad, keep fighting, son. He's got the inside, but the outside for the next one. Slight contact. He maintains
Nah, good
it.
stuff.
Good racing, lads. Good racing.
And he's still coming, but it'll be on the outside here. It's not going to hold that.
He is pitting, lap 20.
Coandy's pitting as well.
So Andy is in the pits. And like you say, as should Tico on those soft compound tyres. Good racing there from Andy. He did lose a bit of time, but interesting stuff from the commentary booth. Of Mike.
Yellow flag down the front straight.
Yeah, I am noticing that just as you say that. It took Coandy.
But I do hope that no one gets a penalty for overtaking on the front straight.
We'll have to take it away anyway. Well, interestingly enough, is considering Aaron spun after the collision with Lennon into turn 1, he's actually now back into the fight with the drivers around him that he was battling with prior to the spin. So that was Coandy, Chicken Guy, and I believe Super Jules.
As Joe Burns had a spin, he's currently being lapped by the leaders.
I believe he has. There's some gravel on his tyres.
There is. Like you said earlier, him and Aaron both seriously dislike this track. As do I believe quite a lot of people.
Strangely enough, Joe did say earlier on this afternoon that he will get lapped tonight. His prediction comes true.
And Zach is actually closing down Joe.
And Remco's caught up to the back of Katamies. Cat goes defensive.
Remco looks for a switchback.
Remco with the switchback. Right, it's now a drag race.
Remco seems to have the pace there.
I'll say he should have this done.
Yield it. Cat did yield the position there, but that fighting, I reckon Cat probably didn't really want to fight that, having a look behind him.
Well, look behind these two, and Tico's coming.
Exactly. Unfortunately for Cat, that great start now is he was very fast on the ultra soft tyres, but the pace on the softs just seem to be able to match that. As Tico is closing in, but there seems to be a respectable gap to his teammate Oxox, so that 6th place should be comfortably his, unless he can pull out an incredible drive here on the rest of his laps on the soft tyre. But as I'm saying that, I've just looked up into the clouds into turn 1. That doesn't look promising, I must say. Yeah, the sunshine of Austria has gone. It does look a bit overcast. Zach surely will be pitting this lap or maybe the next lap. For all we know, there could be rain. to end this race, and that really would throw a spanner in the works.
Well, Tico's got up the inside of Katamise at turn 5. So that's P5 for Tico.
I think now for Cat, he needs to maintain himself, keep a decent pace. 6th place finish in Division 1 is very respectable. It's he's raced well, but I say that he clips the grass and
he had a bit of a wobble out of the final corner.
Bit of a moment as Tico sets a 1:06. I was about to say as Cat got another penalty. Tico has actually 9 seconds of penalties. Cat has 6. So if he can stay within 3 seconds of Tico.
For one, the other back of Chicken Guy, and Chicken Guy hasn't hit it yet.
Chicken Guy doesn't defend and does let Kalandi through, who's now got 17 seconds between him and his teammates.
Yep. Tico's got past Remco. There wasn't much of a defence offered, in fairness.
I think being on a super soft tyre and 9 laps fresher, I don't think Remco was going to put up much of a fight there.
Now, I don't know what Tim 12's penalty situation is. We know Tico's got 9. Don't tell us, because I know you'll probably have a look.
I do indeed know, yes. Well, Dutch has 3. 3 seconds, sorry.
Yeah, well, don't tell us the penalty gap between Tim and Tico. It's something to just to look forward to. I think that could be a bit spicy over the next 10 laps.
No,
if Tico can reel them in.
Because he's pulled over. Now he's going again. I'm confused. I don't know what's happening with that start.
Oh, well, catch dropping down the order, and he's spun.
A lot of frustration, I believe, here now for Cat. Aaron is now into the top 10, and in front of him is Chicken Guy, who needs to pit, and there's a gap to Coanda. Frustration yet again here for Cat. Just doing such a fantastic job at the start, and that first stint was incredible. The second stint started off okay. You know, he lost a lot of time to the leaders, but we're still in a respectable 6th position there, and he is, however, letting Jules pass. But unfortunate that he's again been disaster struck. Cat is, I believe, he's in the relegation zone, along with Jules and the 2 Mercedes drivers previous. So that is quite an irritating situation, to say the least, for Cat. That will be 1/15th place finish and 4 DNFs. Sorry, DNF rather. 9-point scoring finish. Just get my words out eventually. Oh no, it is a DNF.
Right, well, Plexits is back within DRS range of Dutch.
Panda moves up to 13th. Who has done 25 laps on his soft compound tyre. As Joe lets Tico through.
Tico picks up another penalty. So it's probably safe to think then that if Tico even did catch Tim and get past, he wouldn't keep the position. I just think that's too many penalties.
He's let Joe past to unlap himself. Well, I don't know what that says about you. The situation. I mean, Tico's letting him through, but he's going for a dive bomb on Joe, who is 14th. So it's really frustrating.
Joe getting out the way.
Well, I mean, why would Tico let him through if he's just going to go back again? He just stopped going on the straight. The top 3 are closing in on each other. There's a 0.7 of a gap to Dutch and Brexit, and then there's a 2.7 gap between Team 12 and Dutch. 1.8 between him and his teammate Brexit. There's a 6.4 second gap between Tico and Tim.
Well, it's starting to look a bit gloomy.
It's raining.
It is indeed raining.
It is raining.
I did mention that earlier, saying that the sunny Austria has actually disappeared.
Chicken guy has just pitted. He was putting into
And it's gone on the
payroll.
Now, this is obviously too soon. But if you can keep those tyres cool and doesn't really stay too slow, that could be an interesting 26 laps from Chicken Guy on those 27 rather on the.
So Chicken Guy not messing around, he's straight onto the Inter.
Chicken Dude with the strategies here. They don't seem to have much grip if none.
I mean, being that far down, he's probably got nothing to lose.
No, he hasn't. If you're Zach as well, would you risk it?
I mean, at this point, I don't think it really matters what you do if you're Zach. You've been well and truly shafted.
Well, you could invite everybody to a party and hopefully stop racing to go to this party and then they can just drive past it. Forward thinking.
Forward thinking.
Remco is still on the back of Tico.
Yeah, we've got the two Haas drivers close together.
And that infamous yellow flag down the main straight is still there. Interesting that Chicken Guy has put on the intermediates, but the feedback obviously to his teammate, he hasn't told him that it's probably suitable for the intermediate tyres just yet. It's coming down a bit harder, but not hard enough. What will Panda's Ghost put on, because this will be the AI for the best tyre?
It's put on the Ultra Soft.
Now I must say that the gap between Super Jules and Chicken Guy was actually 5 seconds coming out of the pits. Meaning in a lap and a bit, Chicken Guy has lost 5 seconds.
And the two Hasses are battling.
Van goes defensive.
The last time I looked, Chris was 7 seconds behind Aaron, it's now 2.5.
Yeah. Brown's defending well, but Andy's tyres are almost half the age.
There's contact.
There's
and
contact. Brand's round. Yep. Oh dear.
Fantastic commentators we are.
Dear, oh dear.
Good battling, but that fast right-hander is so difficult to get right on a two-way straight, and if you clip the curb or clip the grass, you are around. Unfortunately for the Haas driver, that is the end of his points finished today, potentially. More than likely, anyway. As Aaron flies past, and so does Cress. Means Super Jules is coming around the last corner now. It's actually coming into the pits. Could this be an intermediate? Bran is also on the intermediates. Joe is round.
He's having a party by himself.
And Super Jules gets a 5 second stop and go for speeding in the pit lane.
Is Joe getting the donuts in?
Already, yeah. 3 drivers now on the intermediate tyres. Does Chicken Guy actually overtakes Super Jules? I think it is looking like a greasier track now.
I mean, DRS is still enabled.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I'd be definitely thinking about it before long.
I mean, there's 4 laps to go. Do the soft tyre runners just brave it? I mean, there's surely not enough time for it to come down heavy enough.
Well, the gap between the front two was closed right up.
It has indeed.
So much so, Plexus is up the inside.
Oh, bloody hell. Calm it down, Flex. It's going to go that sideways. Go on, you the 3-second penalty.
Mr. Irrelevant himself. Still got the lead himself. 5 tenths now the gap from Mr. Irrelevant to Plexits.
Got Aaron, Cress and Joe Burns in the pit lane. Cress on inters, Aaron on inters, and Joe Burns on inters.
Aaron and Chris, yeah, all putting on, and Joe, all putting on the intermediates.
However, that 2-second gap that Aaron had to Cress is on 0.6 seconds.
Oh, Dutch has gone wide. And Plexits is in the pits. And Dutch has followed him.
Ducked behind him.
I'm getting some awesome.
Tico's also in the pits. They have stacked at McLaren. There is enough time between them to do that. Remco and Tim 12 are also in. Oxox coming in. Coandy's coming in.
I don't think DRS is being deactivated and we haven't seen it.
This might allow Aaron to catch up with some of them, especially with penalties and the way things are going. I won't tell you boys or the stream viewers, but yeah, penalties are to make it interesting for you, but it's definitely interesting, should we say. This Panda's Ghost, the only one on dry tyres. It's now coming in for intermediates. Smart move from the Panda Ghost there.
Just picked up a 5-second stop for.
He did indeed.
Remco and Tico are going to have a battle to the end.
Well, Joe Burns is finally overtaken Panda's Ghost, so that's good.
Another penalty to Super Jills there.
Oh, Dutch having a wobble out of one.
It's really got interesting now. All the drivers now on the intermediate tyres. Plexits jumping Dutch as he went wide into the pit entry. Dutch still on the hunt, he's still on the back of him. Tico 9 seconds behind the top two, so the top two is now the closest battle on track, I believe. There it is. These two obviously coming head to head, I believe, in France as well. Plexit's got the better of him there as well. It's looking good now. Plexit just needs to maintain himself now, get this gap out to Dutch, grow it a bit. Also with no DRS in these conditions, the slipstream is not as effective, if effective at all. Tim 12 is 8 seconds now behind his nearest rival of Remco. However, Ox is closing in on him. So would you like me to tell you that's the penalty situation between Ox and Tim 12?
Joe Burns has been overtaken by Panda's Ghost again. We're on a ding-dong battle.
That is the closest battle on track now, so that's I think it's approaching a bit closer. I can tell you that if Ox stays within 3 seconds of Tim, he will get 5th place. Interesting little fact for you there.
Joe Burns just pulled the switch back on Panda's Ghost car.
Joe Burns' most exciting actional race.
Oh,
Dutch and Plexits are side by side. Almost side by side.
Just looking down the inside. He won't have the inside for the next round, the next corner rather. Plexits holds first position there. This is all about now how the drivers can quickly adapt to these conditions. Obviously the frame really heavily came down at lap 30. Intermediate tyre weather was probably around...
Oh, Dutch is going to run wide here.
34 was probably the wet weather change, I think. Some of the drivers have made up time, some of the drivers have lost up time. Chicken Guy pitted too early, and I think some of the top runners pitted quite late. So then there are major changes during that wet period transition. Don't want to lose it now. Should have maintained themselves.
Cress is right in the back of Aaron. Got the turn one.
But in a very
Aaron's
much
had a bad
under
exit.
like I
Is
say,
Chris going to go for the move? He is indeed.
Chris is going to go for it.
Aaron's left
Aaron
in the
brakes
space, but
late.
brake late.
it's worked well. Chris does cut the corner and doesn't get a good exit. Aaron holds into that position.
Well, Plexic is going to hold on, I think, to take the win. As he comes out the final corner now.
Fantastic drive from Plexit. Great drive from Dutch. And here's what you wanted to see. So this is what you wanted to leave. Seiko's time penalties, where does it leave him?
Remco gets the podium.
I can actually tell you that Tico had 12 seconds of penalties.
I knew he had 12.
6, and Tim 12 had 6, I believe, or 3. 3. Oxox had none, so that's a 4th place finish. But Oxox probably where his teammate should have been. Had the spin not occurred. Brown crosses the lines around at the points, closely finished by Chicken Guy. And Jills in 13th. Panda Ghost in 13th.
What's it? Joe Byrne's been overtaken by 2 ghosts on this last lap. He's not had a good lap.
Fantastic race from Joe Burns, rounding up the back of the grid, which if he flipped it, Joe Burns technically won the race.
Very happy tonight.
I don't think he will be either.
He's not the happiest of guys when he's doing well, so...
Yes, what Pagani is trying to say, Joe, is you're a miserable, horrible person. Apparently.
He gets angry when he loses a throw-in on Football Manager, so what chance have we got tonight? I don't know.
Football Manager is just the worst of things to people. But anyway, the race results. Plexit picks up another win.
It's back to back.
After last time out into France. Dutch Tricks 5th in the grid, started on the super soft tyre, lost it in the rain. Coming into the pits, that's when Plexit's got him. Remco with a fantastic drive, maintaining his position for qualifying in 3rd. Oxox in 4th. Tico with 12 seconds of penalty finishes in 5th.
Good recovery drive nonetheless.
Oh yeah, fantastic recovery drive nonetheless. And Tim 12 in 6th, not the result he would have wanted, a few mistakes here and there. 3 seconds worth of penalties allowed Oxox to get past him and Tico in the final part of the race. That's Co-Andy with a fantastic drive as well, nonetheless. 16th place up into 7th. Fantastic drive from him. Cress, highest of the Div 2 drivers, in 8th position. Followed by Aaron, who had a good recovery drive up into 9th after spinning on lap 5. After contact with Lennon. And Brand the Man rounds out the points in 10th. 3 DNFs tonight was Kat, Lennon and Praga. Unfortunate for Panda and Zach, they couldn't get back into the race once they lagged out. They did finish 13th and 14th respectively. Joe, sorry mate, I won't even talk about that. So we're inviting Dutch, Plexits and Remco.
Yep.
Do you want them suggesting, or can you get them? What's your party host?
I can invite them. I will need Dutch and Plexits invited, please.
Go out and do that.
I've invited Remco.
Where's Plexit's gone? Hello guys.
Hello, how are we?
Very well, and you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just wait for the other two drivers to come in, Plexit. Remco, rather.
Right, I've
Oh,
suggested Plexit. So
have you suggested Dutch?
I invited him before I made it private.
Okie dokie.
But I shall suggest him again just to make sure.
Hello, guys.
Hello, mate. Thank you very much. Oh, I just wait for Dutch now. Mr. Irrelevant himself. Oh, yes, me and Plexit are now friends. That's brilliant.
Hi
I
guys.
can celebrate tonight.
Hi James.
Hello, Mr. Inconsistent. How are you?
Well, I don't start with you. So. 1v1?
Don't want to embarrass you.
Right, we've got all three drivers in the chat, so we'll get podium interviews underway. So we'll start with our race winner, Plexit, back-to-back wins. Started to get some momentum going now, so how's that one for you?
Yeah, that one felt really good. I mean, I got pole. That was nice. Yeah, then I just, from the start, I pulled away. I knew Dutch was from the supers and he was closing pretty fast. I knew that was going to happen, but he only pitted 1 or 2 laps later than me, so that only like helped me. So, and then it was going to rain, and I jumped him into the pits and stayed in front from there. But yeah, that was good.
I was going to say, there was a bit of good fortune about that pit entry, because Dutch had a bit of a mistake and went wide, didn't he?
I think he
going in.
I don't know if it's true, but I think he was like a little bit doubting if he should go or not. I think he was kind of watching if I went or not.
No, I wanted to pit, but I should corner and then I didn't want to get you damaged or myself, so I let you through.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wide and you were on the inside, so I gave you some space and then you were in front for the rest of the race.
So picking up back-to-back wins, getting some momentum going, do you think you can, take that forward into the next few races?
I certainly hope so. I mean, I want to win the championship, so I have to.
Well, you were my pick for it at the start, so I'd quite like to see you carry it on myself. Prove myself right in something for once. But no, fantastic drive, mate, and
yeah, thank you, man.
Well done.
Right. Dutch.
Hi, mate.
Dutch. So, 5th place qualifying.
Yes.
I would say it's not the best, but you're on the super soft tyres. You're the fastest of the super soft tyres. Actually out-qualified Bran, who was on the ultra softs, and it was actually a decent lap from what I saw. Talk us through your plan for the race. What was in your head? What were you thinking?
I wanted to go on the super softs and skip the ultra softs because I don't think it's a good tire around Austria. Yeah, everything went well. Tico giving me some slipstream, and yeah, the qualifying went really well. So
yeah, it did. We did notice that, and it was clever team play from you two. I was a bit unsure rather what was happening because obviously Tico had the plan, but it was cleared up that was allowed and that was fine as long as it didn't set a time. But there was obviously the incident with the pit entry with the wet tyres, which you've also confirmed to us about. It was you just didn't want to get Plexit's damage, and unfortunately you weren't able to catch him. But was the rain forecast at the start of the race? Did you know the rain was going to come, or was
Yeah,
it sort of?
no, I knew it was coming at some point, but at the start they didn't say rain was coming, so I thought maybe it was staying dry, but that didn't happen. And Tico and I were like, is it gonna go wet enough for inters or not? And then it started to rain heavily enough to go into the pits and switch tires. So.
Yeah. So you felt quite confident on the inters. I mean, you looked reasonably quick. I think Plexus just defended when he needed to and where he needed to, and I think unfortunately you weren't able to get him. But
Yes.
however, on top of that, you are now up to 89 points, I believe.
Plexus is we are at the same amount of points now, I think. So.
No, Plexus is now on
No,
to
I think I'm like 5 points
Yeah,
behind.
82.
he was
He's on
10
82
points behind,
points.
right? Or no?
He is. Yes.
Yes, and
You
he
are
got
3
8
points.
points more.
No, he's
And
1
2
point
points.
behind. He's 1 point behind
Oh.
from the pole position as well, isn't it? So actually, Plexus, you are on 80. Well, maths is correct. You're on 84. I believe that puts
You can do
Dutch at 85. Yay! Yay
Okay.
me!
I was going to say I didn't know ovens could do maths.
No, they can't. They can't. What I do is basically the geezer at Curry's who works at Curry's. Basically, if you don't know what Curry's are, boys, they're not the food. It's an electronic shop. And basically the guy there, the tech guru, was like, "Yeah, mate, oven, I'll do your maths for you if you just turn on for me." And I'm like, "Nah, mate. No, I'm bread." And he was like, "All right, safe, no worries." So yeah, but no, well done, Dutch, mate. It was a good race. I mean, good drive. I mean, that's still every race you finish on the podium, so you can't really knock that, mate. Just keep the consistency. I'm sure you'll do fine. You know, we're team irrelevant. That's what we are, aren't we, Dutch? Sorry, mate. I just couldn't hear you from down there in the performance standing. But no, good race, mate. I'm sure we'll speak to you next week as well. By the way, stream, I'm ahead of Dutch in the performance standing. I don't think I made that.
A once in a lifetime experience, so.
And it's bloody great, and I'm enjoying myself, and I'm here to stay. All right.
Alright, it's me, hang on. Right. I should be used to this by now, shouldn't I? So on to Remco. Were you expecting to make your way into the podium in this race?
To be honest, I quite was, because when I looked in time trials, I know we aren't allowed to do so from Aaron, but I did. You know, I was second of the league, so I thought, well, in qualifying there definitely must be a pole maybe, but yeah, Plexus took it, so really,
You actually
really
got me on 1,000.
well done by him. Yeah, there was a couple of thousands from Tim. Oh yeah. But yeah, and then the race itself, I had a really poor ultra soft run that went really badly. I just managed to keep the softs alive and managed to follow Tico. And then I heard from when he was on Inter that he had 12 seconds of time penalty, so I knew that I could just follow him and get that podium. So yeah, very happy with it.
But from talking to you in the past, I know you're very good in the wet, so were you hoping that the wet weather would come a bit sooner?
Yeah, sure. I wanted it to go like maybe some full wet conditions, but yeah, it just went to enters. But it was fine because that made some drivers make some mistakes, so that went all in my favor in the end.
Nice. I must admit, it's nice to see Remco up here as my championship favourite for the season. So, I mean, it's nice to see you like performing where you should be. Like, it's nice to see you up here. Not that it's not nice to see everyone else. Just to put that out there, I'm not
Thanks.
saying anything bad about anyone else. Just, I like seeing Remco up here. So there you go.
I see how it is.
Right, with that, I'm going to pass you back to Hammers because he's usually the one that instigates everything. There you go.
Whoa. That's unfair. I'm the nice guy, aren't I, Dutch? I'm the nice guy.
Yeah.
You offended attack helicopters last
I
time.
got lumbago. Bit of a Red Dead Redemption reference there to anyone? Anyone who gets it? No, just me.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't normally bully Dutch, but can I just like majorly point out, like, when did Max Verstappen join FTRL?
I
What?
think 3 seasons ago.
What is you talking?
I mean, Remco, just say, yeah, but when Max crashed out in Hungary.
Oh yeah, Remco
Yeah.
the same.
What, me?
Same voice as Max Verstappen.
Just repeat his radio. And like, I think it had a few swear words in there, and sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
No way it is.
Okay, no, that's fine. No, but well done, all of you, except for Dutch. You were all fantastic tonight. No, well done, mate. Well done,
I will
lads.
get you on the
Well
wall on Wednesday.
Please don't.
Fighting dog.
I'm only Div 2 driver. I'm technically the special one of the division, so just have to hold my hand
one
up
of
and
the
say.
shittest. Oh, watch him tomorrow.
Sorry, mate. I can't hear you from all the way down there in the standings. What's the weather like down there? Cold, I imagine. Having that little points. Are you insecure, Dutch? Oh, brilliant. I love being amazingly bad. It's fantastic. I mean, great. No, but well done. Sorry, do you want to close it?
Yeah, let's close this down.
No regret.
So that's it for Div 1 this week. We've got Britain next week for round 6. But before that, we've got Division 2 tomorrow night back here at Austria, where CJ Payne has won the last 2 races. He'll be looking for a hat-trick. So tune in tomorrow night at 8 PM to find out if he can get it done. We'll see you then.
And watch James